I got you. Okay. Okay. Hello to everyone. This is Angelica Jones, and I'm a soror of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And I also, with the help of four other fabulous sorors of Delta Sigma Theta, we operate and manage the creamery. I also manage Know Your Zone. And with Know Your Zone, we like to look out for the vendors, the chapters, and the stores to make sure that they are dealing with licensed vendors. That's the premise. And I'll tell you more about Know Your Zone later on. But what we're going to do tonight is that we're here for a totally different reason. And that reason is to help serve the chapters and chapter leadership, such as the president, advisors, VPs, committee chairs, those who are designated by their presidents to help out or to assist with the flow of chapter events. And we are going to now go into the purpose of tonight's actual reason for this meeting. And we'll have questions and answers, and you'll get to learn about what you need to know in order to have a great tenure with your presidency or your leadership within your chapter from 2025 to 2026. Okay, Angelica Jones, and I'm now giving the floor to the reason of this meeting, and I think we are going to open up with the video, Aldina.
Yes.
Okay, and let's all make sure that all of us have our microphones on mute. I think I still hear some feedback from something, unless it's me. I hear something, but I'm not sure. Okay, so let's go with what we need to go with.
We have breaking news. Nearly 30 countries just cut off the United States, and no one's talking about it. God damn! But why? Because the U.S. just killed the long-standing de minimis rule, the one that let you order stuff under $800 online, duty-free / tax-free. That loophole, gone.
Jesus Christ.
But now, every small package headed to the U.S. gets slapped with new tariffs, $80 to $200 per box in the transition phase. Full import duties after February. That means higher cost, massive delays, and chaos for online shoppers and small businesses. Mexico, Germany, Australia, the UK, Japan, India, they already suspended U.S. parcel deliveries. Damn! And others are joining fast. Even the Universal Postal Union is calling this rollout a disaster. Last part's the most important. This isn't just a policy shift, it's a global shipping meltdown. Your favorite overseas orders delayed, prices going up, sellers scrambling to survive. Think about it. We're talking everything from Amazon deals to mom and pop e-commerce sellers worldwide, all hitting a wall because of this U.S. crackdown. Come on, man. This is the biggest trade disruption in decades, and almost nobody is talking about it. Make sure to smash that share button if you think people deserve to know before their next package vanishes in customs.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric and Angelica, for showing that video. I just sent that to them. And even though it's a little dated right now, I'm sure probably a lot of the vendors are feeling the effects of it. But my name is Aldina Lee. I am from Queen Enterprises. I'm a vendor and I'm also a soror. I want to applaud Angelica for agreeing to have this forum because I wanted to share with her that I think we need to help the chapters in getting them to place their orders earlier than they think, and in ordering the numbers or quantities that you will need for 2025 and 2026. Okay, so I just kind of put a little presentation together. I share this with my other clients that I work with outside of doing Delta business. And it just helps them to start organizing. By trade, I am a project manager and I work on $650 million construction projects. So this is just to get the client in the mindset on how we have to plan in order to move forward. Next slide. Oh, well, this is called mindset and planning and organizing. And then we're going to talk about some things. Go ahead, Eric. So our agenda for today is understanding the role of mindset and planning, establishing clear goals and timelines, effective organizing techniques, your mindset considerations for gift giving, and then tips for successful future events and plannings. And then also we're going to have open forum Q&A. But feel free, if you do have questions, please put them in the inbox, and we will try and answer them, all of them, when we get to the Q&A section, or immediately right then and there. Next slide. So I kind of went over this. This here is just an actual graphic of what we just talked about in the bullet points, but it just gives you things to really think about. And as we're going through this presentation, please make sure you're jotting down notes. A lot of the vendors are on this call also. My vendor compadres, please feel free to jump in and, share in the presentation. This is just not all me speaking, okay? I know some did share bullet points, but please feel free to speak in if there's a point you want to elaborate on. Next slide. Now, when we think about deadlines from a vendor standpoint, we want you to also think about from your standpoint, okay? And when we talk about that, it's understanding the project timelines. It's crucial for the success of what you're trying to do for your event. Establishing clear deadlines helps you in the task prioritization of what needs to be done. So it may not be the chapter president that needs to, actually be the one calling us and getting the gifts and all of that, but there's a committee, and hopefully we have those individuals on the call also. We're just trying to help you help us help you, if that makes sense. Regular reviews ensure adherence to deadlines. For a lot of the chapters, your calendars are already planned for the year. So it's like you already kind of know what you're going to be doing for the year. So you can pre-start, even though you may not have the funding yet, you can pre-start those ideas of what you're probably interested in from the vendor standpoint. There's adjustments that may be necessary based on the progress of where you are and what you're trying to do. But again, we're just trying to get you to get in the mindset to think a little bit earlier instead of everyone coming back together in September, even though your event is probably going to be in the spring, or there's going to be new lines that, could possibly be coming on, in the spring. We already know, your chapter size, what you're potentially approved for, but you never know, right? Until, everybody goes through the process. But you can start that idea of thinking now, what possibly as a gift or as a chapter or whatever you're going to be doing, what you plan on giving. Okay, because there's a lot that goes into that process for you, but there's a lot also for the vendors that will go into the process of trying to meet what you are requiring and or your needs. And then also effective communication of deadlines prevents a lot of confusion. So whoever that point person is going to be, their telephone number, their email address, what's the best way to contact them, and just the constant back and forth on the communication. That line has to stay open in order to make us helping you achieve your goal and our goal of successfully providing services to you. Next slide. The importance of the right mindset. It shapes how you approach planning and organizing, encourages flexibility and adaptability, promotes creative problem solving, there's problem, and supports consistency and follow through. One example I do want to share with you, and I'm sure all of you remember when we had that logistics breakdown a few years ago during the pandemic. Orders were just everywhere. And me being one of the vendors, all of the handbags that I had pre-sold, placed the order in April. They should have arrived in July. They did not arrive until November. But remember, they were pre-sold. So I was in constant contact with all of my clients. I even went ahead and took the water taxi out to the port. And, I was showing video. I said, hey, your packages are here. They're here with me, but I cannot get to them right now. I have to wait until they say the ships can go into port and they unload them. And then after that, UPS or FedEx or somebody has to pick it up and then deliver it to me. I cannot just physically pick it up from the port. So the constant, just staying in contact with you, making sure that we fulfill what you are and your needs is always our priority. But we want to make sure that you're giving enough time to in the planning part of it so we can get it here. That just happened to be a glitch, and that was beyond our control, totally beyond our control. Out of all those orders, I only had one person. She wanted a refund, but I was trying to assure her that any day it's going to be dropped to me. And once you cancel the order, somebody else took her bag. So she called and said, hey, I want it back. And I said, it's gone. Somebody already paid for it. You've been refunded. So we moved on from there. And then, we quickly get the orders out. Next slide. Planning for success. Again, just clear goals, what the chapter wants, what they need, what they plan on having as a gift, whether it's line gifts, chapter gifts you want to give. The holidays are coming up. The collegiate chapters, if any of the chapter advisors are on the call. Normally, we know they cross by the end of October. So now would be the time to start that process, because we know you already knew you were going to have a line. And then, we could have already been ordering to get everything you need here, depending on the numbers. Okay. Of course, set realistic timelines. And we're going to go over the timeline schedule just from what I've noticed and I've just been following from ordering to getting the items here if we're ordering from overseas. Okay. Anticipate potential challenges and then allocate resources effectively. Next slide. Well, first, let me stop. Are there any questions so far? You can unmute yourself.
And at this
Hi,
time, go ahead. Go ahead.
hi, this is Latricia from Florida. I do have a question. So she spoke earlier about budget, so like with the year and the solar year, because you have to wait on a new budget, and it's everything has changed now. From the January to the December versus when activities are going. What is a typical time frame when it comes down to gifts for Roundup? Do you recommend based on setting a realistic goal to, because they usually say like you're at national or something, you go to the vendors, see if you like things. What is the realistic? I'm being told May, I'm being told April. You're a vendor. Could you give your expertise and thank you?
Oh, thank you for the question, Miss Letitia. We are going to go over it. I actually prepared like a timeline, and all of this information will be available to you. I'm sure that Angelica will share all the information with each and every one of you. And just so you know, everyone's timeline is different. This is just a generality from what I've noticed, from what I've been working in and what I see. And the comments I read in the vendors and sellers group and everything I see going on. um, the reason why I asked Angelica, can we go ahead and host something like this, is because I noticed a lot of the chapters were ordering late, but they're not setting realistic goals to get items here. And like there's a huge order. It's in the process of getting here now, but I'm going to explain to you how you have to navigate through this to get this mega order here. Okay? So for right now, it says organizing with purpose. You're going to create a structured system for tracking whatever you need to do in whatever committee you're on. I created a spreadsheet. We're going to look at it, and you can add to the columns, if you need to. But this is just something to get you started and to get you talking in your chapters and with all your committees on what you need to do and the challenges of course, based on your budgetary purposes of your chapter. Again, prioritize list and urgency and the impact. Um, use digital and physical tools effectively and review and adjust plans regularly. So it's always a moving target, but we're going to try and pinpoint it down from the time you give us the order and the payment. And we're going to talk about that. Next slide, please. So you understand the recipient's preferences, meaning us as vendors, we understand what you want because you've shared with us some ideas. And I'm actually going to show you all the categories that we as vendors are approved to provide merchandise to you from National. Okay. And we are totally responsible as, when we sign those agreements. If you are a licensed Delta vendor here on the call, we are totally responsible for all logos. Hey, Sorder. All logos and anything that has to do with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So we are looking at branding. Branding is very important. Okay. It's not your personal preference or how you want to change things to make it look and it's cute, because this is how we do things. If you're going to be using any of the branded logos from the organization, it will be as such because we signed an agreement, a legal agreement. Consider the timing in your presentation, balance personalization with practicality, your budgets, and plan in advance to avoid last minute stress. Stress on your part, is it going to get here in time? Stress on the vendor's part, because let me tell you, we all want your business. There is not one vendor in here where we would not love to have your business, but we also want to do very well for you because we want you to come back and select us again. Okay. There are over 1,000 plus vendors who are licensed to sell Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated merchandise. So each and every one of us, we want your business. We welcome it, actually. Next slide. And we have some great giveaways that's going to be happening. So if you're in here, I don't know how Angelica plans on doing that, but there's some great items. Future event planning tips, start early. I know we probably had some going out of office by June 30th, and then the new officers came in July. You probably had a lot you had going on. We had convention. You had to meet with your chapter presidents, plan your budgets, get everything approved, and then get things going. September is here, and we are off and running. Okay. You break tasks into small, manageable steps. So hopefully everyone's working together on their committees, and you're already starting to plan. Even if your event is in the spring, it is never too early for that committee to get started on what they need to do and accomplish. Okay, because we have to have time. And by the time I break down the actual ordering or just talking to you, then to placing the order, and then getting the order from the actual supplier to here, and then shipping it from us to you, it's a whole process. Okay. And you have to allow that time within your thought process and your planning. Okay. Make sure you delegate responsibilities when possible. Not everybody can do everything, but whoever that point person is, make sure you always stay in contact with the vendor. And really, phone calls are great, text messages are great, even emails, because it leaves a trail so we can see where are the loopholes or the gaps and how you can improve in your communication with that particular vendor. Okay. And keep a record of lessons learned for the next time. Next slide. We're at the Q&A. So I think it was Miss Letitia. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong.
That's okay, Latricia.
Latricia, excuse me.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Okay.
We're going to take a look. Well, we have a vendor NALIA resource guide. It's going to be distributed to the chapters only, and the format will be a digital handbook. Okay. And that's going to be coming from Angelica. She's putting that together. I've seen it. I think it looks awesome. There it is. There it is. Angelica, did you want to go ahead and speak on this with the chapters?
Yes. What I want you to know that this is a proprietary book or a digital guide that will be only distributed to the chapters to be shared with your committee members, leadership, those in leadership, advisors, designees for the president for things that you may need for events that are coming up, such as membership intake or Founders Day, May Week, whatever it may be. Also, this guide, if you can go to the second page of it, Eric, you can see how it will be set up. And that setup will have the name of a company. It will tell you who the owner is, how to contact them by email, the site link, and which I will have that hyperlink for you. So you don't have to just write it down and then try to type it in. It should be hyperlink where you can just click on it right directly. The stats of what they handle or their experience with large orders or bulk orders, and also what they offer, such as apparel, jewelry, and their specialization. Now, one thing I do want you all to know is that there are different types of orders, and there are two frameworks of orders. There are orders going back to what Adina was speaking about. There are two different types of orders. There's an order that's just general NALIA. Then there's orders which are customized NALIA, where you're putting your chapter name, your president's logo on. Please be mindful that when you are looking at the second framework of NALIA orders, is it general NALIA with no customization, like with the Delta IP on it? Or is it something that you are adding to it, like the chapter's name, the date of this event, the name of this event, the name of the line, and all? So those types of orders do take longer. So please be mindful of that as well. Now, we have a framework that we're going by when it comes to the types of orders or the size. And this is going to be one of our first questions for the giveaway tonight. We have small orders, anything that's between 25 and 49 items of the same thing, okay? That's a small order. Our medium orders are characterized as 50 to 99 pieces of or units of some type of NALIA and all. Then we have large orders, which are 100 and 500 plus of something, okay? Then there's the mega order, 600 pieces to 1,000. Case in point, my chapter, Detroit Alumni, at one time, we had our roundup, and everybody got an umbrella, okay, who came, who registered, who, or either purchased a ticket. Well, that was like 1,000 or 1,200 umbrellas. So that would have been considered a mega order because it fit within the range of 5 to 1,000 pieces of some type of merch. Okay. Then we have vendors who have experience with regional and national level. That's something like 2,500 plus. Okay. And I think for a national convention, the norm is something like 14,000 pieces of something or whatever. So that is considered like the regional national touch or the vendor who's used to that type of volume. So in the booklet that you'll get, it will name these ranges of what constitutes a small order up to a mega order and then beyond, which is like the national or regional. Before I let the floor go back to you, what is it that the chapters are looking for? What do you need when it comes in terms of a vendor or the vendors that are licensed for us? Because we know what we wanted to tell you tonight, but we would like to hear what your concerns are and what do you need from us as well. So the floor is yours until I come back for a prize.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and chime in. I'm really enjoying the information that's exchanged, but I know one thing that a lot of our frat chapters deal with down here is we never know what the vendors have. Like, so for us, if we had like regular communication, hey, here's some new items, or this is available coming up in the fall, and then you can use that communication as an opportunity to kind of share whatever those timelines are, right? And like, because with us, like I'll be starting my line coming up here in just a few weeks. and it would be nice to know ahead of time what new stuff is out there, if anything. So just a little communication, kind of like a Sears catalog, if you will, of just one or two things that are coming, or things that are trending, right? You know, so something like that.
Okay, great input. Any other input as well? Because I know a lot of vendors here are more, they may be licensed for more than one organization as well, which is great. Any other
Angelica,
input? Yeah,
you
go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I have a suggestion.
Uh-huh.
What I do, because I have customers from all over the country, I always tell them to check my Facebook business page. That's where I post new items. Okay. Maybe once, twice a month, I'll send a email out, a newsletter out indicating what new items that I have. Also, if I come across something that I may not get much of, I call that a special order, so that my customers who like the special orders, if they go to my business page on Facebook, they know what new items I do have. Just my
Okay.
thought.
Okay. And that will also, that should also be a part of the resource guide as well, including those vendors, Facebook pages, Instagram pages, and other links to social media into that book. So, and I didn't have that as an example. So thank you for reminding me of that. Now, Eric, before we go to the next part of this, is there anyone else at the door right now?
Let's
I
see.
think
No,
there
not
were
right
three.
now. Not
Okay,
right.
there were three who were just okay. They may be in. Let me see. Any other input from anyone else? Someone was about to say something. I think I cut in on. I didn't mean to.
And we still have an example of that order sheet that Adina can walk everyone through as well.
Okay. Okay, so do you have the other one? Let me start with the other one first. Did you get that second one that shows all the categories?
That is what I think that, remember, Eric, I said it looked like it was a page that should have been there and it wasn't there. We didn't see it. And it looked like something should have been there. Like you intended for some, is that? Nope.
No, that's not it. It's
It was another page. It looked like
it's
something that should
another
have been there.
page. Can
And
you check your, while we go over the other one,
I'll
and
check.
see your email?
I'll
Because
check.
it's important that they see that page.
Mhm.
So they have all the ideas and everything and the tools and the resources given to them.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm
right
checking.
now I'm just going to go over it's a little template that I put together for all of you to go ahead and view. And on this one here, I just put like imaginary events, okay? And this is for if you're ordering from overseas, all right? And specifically China, okay? And India, kind of where all my orders are coming from these days, it seems, but in Canada. So if you're holding an event September through December, you need to at least place your order by April or June so you can receive the package by sea freight by August to be ready for your event September through December. And why we say that is because let me give you the breakdown before I go through all of those. And then look at the holiday schedule overseas in manufacturing. Now, I've spoken with my counterparts over there, and this is the holiday schedule that they provided me. And I've been a Delta vendor for 6 years. So during the pandemic, I was just gathering all kind of data and information because I'm a data miner, collector, and I like logistics. So I have a lot of this information. But these are their holidays. So if you're planning late for us as vendors, it's too late because they're going on holiday, and when they shut down, they shut down. They have festivals, they have the new year. And this is kind of, you can take a picture of this screenshot, but also Angelica can send this off to you. But it's very important if you're going to be working with a vendor, 9 times out of 10, we're working with suppliers from overseas. And this is kind of their schedule. Okay. And January through holiday is Chinese Spring Festival. Adina, you wrote something. I can't see it. Actually, and they shut down earlier than the actual date. Yes, they do. They do shut down sometimes earlier than the dates they have said. And I put this on here because they'll say, "Oh no, our New Year doesn't start till February." They start closing down. Honestly, I put January 12th as a buffer, but that doesn't mean you can place an order. If you place an order with a vendor and they try and, start fulfilling it, overseas will take the order. They will sit on it until they come back, in March.
Yep.
They will sit on it and they're not doing anything. They'll text you, call you boss, honey, whatever, term they like to share, try and be sweet and nice to us because they want our business, but they will sit on it. And that's because you placed the order too late with us in order to get it with them and to get it back here in time. Say you needed it in March. You need to place that order no later than the end of September or October right now, if it's for a March or April date, okay? Because of the holidays they have going on. And the other thing I want you to think about, it's not just us as vendors, they are servicing the world. If all of you didn't already know, a lot of everything we have starts from over there and works its way here. That's why we got tariffs, because of certain people. Um, we're in the mix of everything. And I'm going to give you an example. I got an order. Well, I got a call. They referred me. I got the order, but I got the call July 27th. July 28th, I was talking to their person of contact. And by August 1st, they finally returned the call. I said, okay, let me see if I can make this happen. I went ahead and found a vendor and started talking and working with them before I even had the actual, they were going to go with me, because I wanted to see if I could do it and make sure I could fulfill what they needed, because they needed well over 2,000 pieces. Okay. And they needed it by September 19th. Remember the dates I told you? July. They called, they said, okay, we're going to go with you. I said, okay, great. But I spent 2 days working with the vendor to get everything right. And you have to remember, there was no time to let's get a sample. A sample takes anywhere from 7 to 10 days for the supplier to put together and then ship to you. Okay. So when I tell you my business has really been through keen eye, looking at the computer, that's how I've been running things. On certain things, if I have time, I will go ahead and get a sample here, but it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get a sample here just to look at, say, okay, the color's right, this is right. But I just kind of trained myself to develop an eye. That order was placed. The only reason the order went through, it took them remember, July 27th, talk to the point of contact person, July 28th. It took another week to get the check. So actually, their order didn't begin until August 8th. We're talking this year real time, okay? And but I had already worked through everything and the layout of the template and everything that's going to be needed. The person said, if I do not have that money, they will not start the order. So that's another thing we want the chapters to be cognizant, because I know you guys have budgets, or sometimes you have to pre-sell tickets to get the money to start to do what you need to do. But we just want you to be mindful of timeframes. Okay. I went ahead and put the deposit down because I had the order. They had guaranteed the order with me. So I went ahead and I put down a small deposit. We ain't talking about the amount that whole order costs. I just put down a small deposit so they can get started. Because if we can tell you, they will not start an order until they have all the money. That's how they work over there. And that's their business mindset. They will not get started. Some will take a deposit, some won't. And they stick by that, and they will not budge, and they will not waver. They started the order. A week later, he was working around the clock. The order was ready. But why I went ahead and paid that deposit in advance from me first, instead of having already the check in hand to just pay them the total amount, because I needed to buy my space on that ship that's only leaving once a week. So there's a lot of changes that have changed over the course of the years, and we want to share and get that information out to all of you to be mindful, like we have to be mindful. Again, we want your business, but we have to work in the parameters that's given to us. So we want to share it so you can, see what we are doing in order to make our clients, which are you, happy. Okay. So me paying that deposit, that $1,000 deposit, bought myself my space on that ship for my order of 40 boxes that are on the way here to California. Okay. That guaranteed that my items were going to be leaving that day. Okay. Because I need to get them here and they're due this week. I have to turn that around and get it out back to the East Coast. Yes, I could have. It sounds like, why didn't you just ship it directly there? Because I have to do quality control. How many vendors, and you can chime in, have ordered something, or a box is missing, or it's been broken into, or everything's not right? You have to immediately take those pictures and contact, or your supplier overseas, so they can quickly do whatever they need to do and get you the difference here, so you can fulfill the order. Are there any questions so far?
And if not, I do have a raffle prize that's coming up for any of the non-vendors who are on this call. And I need to share my screen, Eric, to show them what the first door prize is. And I just click on the share my screen, right?
That's it.
Okay, let me find it and make sure it's there. And Eric, do you have who was the first non-vendor on the call? Who came in? Do you have that name? Does it show you?
Yeah, I think she dropped her name in the chat.
Okay,
There's
I
a
need
young
her
lady
name.
from North Carolina.
And I'm hoping that she's still here. She's still here.
Let's see. Is it Janice Moore?
Yes, that's me.
You're still there?
Janice Moore.
Okay.
I am.
And what chapter are you from, Janice?
Burlington alumni.
And you are president, advisor, committee, or what?
Committee chair.
Committee chair. Well, congratulations. You are the winner of this beautiful, beautiful bag. And I'm hoping that I can share my screen to show you what it looks like. Hold on.
And I think we have two total that were here earlier. So it was Janice and it was Tara Oglesby.
Okay.
But I know she's a vendor as well.
Yeah,
though.
she's a vendor.
Yeah. Okay.
This
but yeah,
one,
Janice.
I'm going to share this. And this is your prize. Miss Janice.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And this beautiful prize is courtesy of Dina Dean Martinbar of Sacred Seeds. And this is a laptop bag. And Dina Dean, please tell her more about her prize. And you, both of you will talk after this so you can exchange, information so she can get this beautiful bag over to you. So let's give them a hand. Go ahead.
Yes,
Dina.
absolutely. So your leather laptop bag is embossed with the symbols. It has it'll take up to a 15-inch laptop easily. 16 might be a little tight, but and you've got pockets for your pens, your glasses, there's tons of pockets, and it is added for your laptop. So we hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to being able to send that out to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's a beautiful prize. We have additional hope that we can give them all away tonight. If not, I'll make up something. for us to get it, But nevertheless, let me go back to the stream. Am I finished with my sharing, or you
Yeah,
all still see the bag?
you can just say stop sharing. Yeah, we
Oh,
still see
that
it.
makes
There
sense.
you go.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Go ahead.
oh no. So I didn't know if there were any, additional questions. We can go back to the calendar, just so we can review the timelines again.
Okay.
Mhm. And
And my
also,
fellow
Adina,
vendors, if
that
your timeline is a little different from, this, please chime in. We do want to share. This is just generic. This is my schedule of what I work on. Every vendor probably has their own schedule, but this is just kind of what I noticed from overall. Just watching how the ebb and flow of ordering from overseas. So we have September. If your event is in September or December, you need to order it by April of June of 2025. Okay. So that means it, and receive it by August, meaning now. So you'll be ready for at least the rest of the year, if it was at all possible. Okay. Now for January and March, we have, and it's still not late, because if you need to get like sometimes Christmas is coming up. So we have lines that will be coming on and up, the collegiates in October. And then you have the holidays. Some chapters do special things around the holidays, and they're gift giving, and they're giving it to their exec board and or members. Maybe there are stores or vendors that have items that can fit your needs. Okay. And you don't have to order in mass quantity, but this is just an idea to give you an idea if you wanted something special, customized, and it was large numbers. Okay. Because as small business people, sometimes a lot are not sitting around with merchandise of 100, 200, 300, or 500 items. Okay. This is just an FYI for you. January to March, you need to order by, if your event is January to March, you need to have ordered it between June through August in order to get it here by November. To receive your items by December, it's a little too late, because we're going in the holidays. And I did want to share with you, like right now, in the optimal time to place your orders for anything happening the rest of the year is really June, because now we're in the process of competing with these corporations. And if you haven't been to the stores yet, some of the corporations have already started receiving their Christmas items. Like there's some here, they're already up and in the stores already, but we're in the crunch along with everybody else in the world of ordering. And remember, that's the same thing for when you place your orders during their holidays. Your order sits there, and if we're not ordering in large mass quantity from them, they'll be like, oh, okay, well, we gonna get to it, but you're in line. That's how they think. And they're not apt to move forward, and they're apt to do all the changes you want. But just remember, that time is ticking. Every time you have to, well, I got to take it back to the chapter. They change their mind. Your clock is ticking on your item getting here on time in order to get to you and for your event. So we just want to share that. If your event is April through June, September through October is when you really need to be placing that order. So we do know sometimes rush happens the latter part of January through February, probably the first 2 weeks of February per se. And then everyone is nowadays have to cross no later than April 30th. So it's like once but you can already have started pre-planning and thinking if your chapter was approved to move forward. Okay. You can already start pre-planning and thinking of an idea of what you're thinking about based on your budget. So you got to be realistic, because you have to remember there's the cost that the supplier has, the vendor has to put their costs on it, but now we have to also include tariffs. And then, if all of you didn't know, also, shipping has increased tremendously. Shipping has increased tremendously. I can't stress that. And we're talking about U.S. Postal Service. So a large box coming to you, depending on who everybody's using, pirate ship or whatever service they're, it's at $24 right now. So, you
Okay.
know, maybe you don't need it that priority in 2 to 3 days because you're going to end up paying extra for that. Just an FYI. Okay.
Okay.
So that's April, June, September, October, and then you receive your sea freight. And why I said sea freight is the the cheapest way to ship. Um, you could do air freight, but it's going to cost a lot because the client that needs these items that was ordered, their shipping cost about $3,000. That's by sea freight. And I said, well, by the way, asking my supplier, what's the cost by air? It was an additional $3,800. So that was $6,800. If we want to make sure for sure, it would have been here now. And of course, they said no. They're not going to pay that. So you know the sea freight is kind of working out because we made sure we were on the ship. Okay, we got our space. Normally, they do not give you space until they are almost done with your order, like the day before. That's when the supplier calls and say, "Okay, we're getting ready to ship it out." And they call the day before to book you some space on that ship if you can get on that particular ship that's leaving. But as we know, since the tariffs and all that has kicked in, those ships are not leaving frequently. So the ships are leaving one time a week. They're only leaving one day a week because they're not being filled up like they normally were every day. Okay. So your planning and working with us in our planning is very imperative and crucial that we keep a hand together like this and we're working in sync together. Okay.
Okay.
If you order something July through August, you have an event, you need to order by January through February, regional conferences, um, pretty much regional conferences. So you can get it here by May. And then that way, if you have 30 days to hopefully get it mailed out and everything you need to do. And then there's these other, other dates we have here that I just added. So this is kind of the holiday schedule that they're on. I have been using this and following it, and it just kind of, I know when to place my orders, when not to. But what I did this year, because I didn't want to deal with, what's going on, and everyone knows what I'm talking about on this call. I went ahead and I used all my resources and purchased all of my supplies for the next 3 years. I just went ahead and did it because I did not want to have to deal with the tariffs costs. When they stopped it or put it on like mute a little bit, I went ahead and hurried and ordered my supplies to get them here. The whole thing
Okay.
was, let me get all my stuff here. Now, all I'm working with is if a chapter or a region has something special, then I will work on that, and get that there. But for my normal, just ordering whatever any of you need, like my other fellow vendors, I have it here.
Okay.
Okay. That was the best thing. Yes, Angelica?
Yes, well, we're up for another prize, and it has to be non-vendors. It has to be somebody from a chapter, and they can put their answer. The first person to put their answer in the chat, or either no, just say I got the answer. Okay. Here's the question: the optimal time to order for the rest of the year would have been what month? The optimal time to order for the balance of the year would have been what month? Who can answer the question?
You got to take the share screen off.
Oh, my share screen is still on?
No.
Oh, wait, that's right. I think Eric needs to take off the screen.
I have the answer. This Latricia.
Okay, Latricia.
So if you want to receive your item by the end of the year, you have to order between June and August.
Yep, I know June was in that answer, and you have a prize that is coming from Taylor, a Mocha a Monte collection. Is Mocha Taylor still on the call to tell about the prize that she has? And if not,
Yes, my name is Monica Taylor, part of the Monte collection. I do specialize in the wooden handbags, jewelry, accessories, and scarves. And what I'll be presenting to you will be a pearl necklace with Delta Sigma Theta on it. Also, will showcase a bracelet with matching earrings.
okay. And
Thank
did you see a
you.
picture of it? I didn't see the picture to show her
It's the
what she.
one I always
Uh-huh.
I just put it up Sunday that people been buying, but I'll send it to her.
Okay, perfect. And you two will get in contact with one another to
And
exchange
actually,
addresses.
can
Yeah.
I just say one thing?
Yes.
I actually did this for a chapter just recently.
It's
I shipped it
wonderful.
off before my 3 week vacation. They ordered a certain amount, and guess what? They're calling Labor Day weekend saying that they need 50 more. And those are the type of things also chapters need to realize. If they're ordering 250, you probably need to order anywhere from probably 30 to 50 over the amount that you actually need. So
Mhm.
that this is a prime example that happened this weekend to me, and they're needing it by next week. I'll be able to still accommodate them because I'm on vacation, but those are things that come up all the time.
Okay, perfect. And congratulations. I'm going to go to the site to see it. I've heard about it. I know it's really, really nice as well. So let's do this. Are there any other chapter? I know a lot of people are traveling, and there were some who were asking what we record this, which we are. But who's physically on the call right now? Who else is physically on the call right now from a chapter? Not a vendor, but from a chapter. If you can, put your names in the chat box and just say, "Hey, I'm putting my name in the chat box and let us know who you are." That's if you are from a chapter on this call right now. I see. Okay, I got. Okay, I see. Okay, I see that notation for one of the winners, and I got to get the winner again for Aldina's Martin Wars from Sacred Seeds. I got to get the name for that winner. Oh, we have Stephanie. Stephanie, you have a prize coming, and your prize will be a set of car shades. Okay, Stephanie Dura from Hampton Alumni Chapter. She's a chair person of an event. Tell us about your chair or your committee that you're chairing, Stephanie.
I actually chair two committees. Hi,
Ooh,
everyone.
okay.
I could chair two committees. I do St. Jude. I'm the chair for St. Jude under
Mhm.
program and planning, and I also do our social um, committee.
Okay. Well, you have a set of car shades that are coming your way, and all,
Thank you.
and also because you're chairing two different committees, you got a second one, some luggage tags that are coming to you as well.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate
Yes.
that.
Okay. And I'll get your name over to those vendors, and I'll connect all of you so you can get your door prizes. Do we
Okay,
have
thank you.
anyone else? You're welcome. Okay. Do we have anyone else? Okay, I know that we are taping this for those who could not be on the call tonight and all, but oh, do we have someone else? Nope, I don't see. Okay. So I thank you so much for those of you who were able to sign on and who stayed as well. This will be recorded, but also you will get the digital resource book only for chapters and their leadership advisors and committee chairs with a lot of the information that was discussed tonight and then some as well. We're looking forward to working with you all for the upcoming balance of 2025 throughout 2026. And if you ever have any questions, you can always inbox me. I'll get you to the right vendor that you're looking for. And we have a host of other events that are coming up for you as well. Oh, we do have something. Oh, we're going to close out. And then with Adina, we found what you were looking for. If you want to
Yes.
go over it, you can, and then you can close out the meeting.
Oh, wonderful. So this is what I was talking about, the different categories that we as licensed D9 vendors are approved to provide to the chapters of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. You can, I didn't retype this. I just took it actually from my contract. I just snapped a picture. So you can order ladies accessories. What our contract says, please select all that you will be providing on this contract before we have to send it to national with our payment and get approved. Okay. When you become a vendor. So there's accessories, ladies, you have the African artifacts, apparel, children's infants, apparel men, art, prints, posters, auto accessories, you name it, bath accessories, bath apparel. I mean, you've seen everything at convention, pretty much almost. Candy cookies, then they have, desks, decals, dolls, hosiery, socks. We've seen it all in the creamery. But I just wanted to show you that the list is vast, what can be offered. So when you start to plan, please pull this sheet out. You can enlarge it. I just couldn't enlarge it. And see what items you're possibly looking at that you want to offer. And keep in mind the cost. Keep in mind the tariffs cost that has to be paid, and the shipping, handling, and of course the taxes on the items that are purchased that have to be paid. I do want to say, I hope this was helpful. If you guys can put in the chat group or unmute yourself and chime in and just let us know if this was helpful, if we should do this at least once a quarter, to keep in contact. Oh, thank you so much, Eric. So everybody else can highlight that and put it on your desktop. If this, is helpful to you, please let us know if this was good, or are you looking for something more? Because our goal is to have your business and to work with you and to do an excellent job in serving you, the chapter, our client.
Hey, one other thing I'll add. Just feel free to check the chat, and you can cut and paste all of that text and just kind of save it on your own. And these are the types of things we'll be sending out going forward in a new enhanced version of the naliaZONE newsletter. So everyone who's registered for this session will be added to that communication automatically. And the last thing I'm going to say before Alina closes us out is that I'm kind of jealous. I mean, I don't do the purses and bags, but I don't know why I'm feeling some kind of way right now. I didn't win anything, man. So congratulations to all those who participated, and I'm sure they value that knowledge, but also to those who received those door prizes.
Okay, and thank you once again for working with us, Eric. You've been a lifesaver many times with your resources that you bring to us as well. So let's give him a big hand and thank him so much. And we're looking forward to working with the chapters. And please share this with your chapters and your chapter members and fellow chapters in your locales as well. This will be a recorded presentation as well. And we're looking forward to hearing their feedback too. Thank you and have a wonderful, is it Labor Day, right? Yeah. You can't wear white after that one. Okay, I'm wearing white. But nevertheless, have a great one, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Thank you, everybody.
Good evening. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.